Hey guys, it's Will Chandler again. Guardian Fury is my handle for YouTube, and I'm trying to make this video again. I just made the follow up on for life after leaving the Jehovah's Witness cult, and had an issue with my tablet here trying to record it. So here I am back again. See how it goes this time. Of course, I didn't need to tell you that because I'm the only one that knew. But so here was at the age of 21. I was in the honor roll 20 years old when I went in. Was distinguished honor grad from my class at basic training, and I was on a airborne ranger contract. So I then went to airborne school. Well, back a little bit. I was infantry, and then I went to mortar training also. So I was regular infantryman on along with being a mortarman. And so then went to airborne school after that. And while I was at airborne school, I had kind of like an injury to my right knee, overuse along with a little bit of impact injury, and that ended up frustrating my plans to stay at Ranger Battalion. I got to Ranger Battalion, everything was going fine, but after the first couple months, my knee was just bothering me too much, and with the high turnover rate that they had, especially at that time because it was pre 9/11, uh, I wasn't able to stay there, so I needed to find another unit, or they were going to assign me another unit. So I found the recruiter for the honor guard, or he found me, and ended up applying for the Third U.S. Infantry, the honor guard, uh, and ended up getting accepted to that, and I ended up being placed in the Presidential Salute Gun Battery. Now, the honor guard, we handle all of the ceremonial stuff in the D.C. area, along with security for the Capitol and like Secret Service augmentation, all that fun stuff. Now, in the Presidential Salute Battery, we fire the cannons for the president, like I was on Bush's inauguration. And also, if you look at all the ceremonies for like the burials at Arlington National Cemetery, um, where we fire the cannons for brigadier generals and above, and the equivalent for the other services. Let's see. Also, we'll fire for heads of state, other countries, and dignitaries. We'll fire for in front of the reflector pool by the Capitol steps for the 1812 overture on 4th of July. So at the end of the night, when they're doing the 1812 overture, and it goes da 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 da, boom. That's the cannon. They sync it with fireworks up a lot of times also. And we also do the fire for the 1812 overture at the Symphony on the Mall, which is every summer by the Washington Monument. We also do the Symphony on the Bay up at Annapolis when they do the 1812 overture there also. And there's a lot of other ceremonial stuff that happens in the DC area. Like I said, along with our regular duties of running security for the DC area, um, and Secret Service augmentation. So um, that's the unit that I ended up being placed with once I applied for and was accepted into the honor guard. Um, so on 9/11/01, my platoon, we were getting ready for a mission at the Pentagon actually, uh, for an arrival for a dignitary, and then the first plane hits the tower, and then so as we are still prepping our uniforms, our ceremonial blues, dress blues, for this arrival, where some of us are watching around some of the guys' TVs, and then we see the second plane hit the tower, and then of course all of us, instantly we're like, crap, and then shortly after that we felt the impact. Um, we heard it and felt the impact of the plane at the Pentagon, because you got Fort Myer, which is where we were stationed, then you got the cemetery, and then down the hill and across the highway from the cemetery to the Pentagon. It's really not that far away. And anyway, so then, so the course of 19 days from 9/11 on, well, back up a second. Our platoon was the first platoon to respond. There were people that were like in the blast area that were helping each other get out. But our platoon was the first ones assigned to go there and respond to the attack itself. Um, and so when we got there, it was still looking like a war zone, and pieces everywhere, and all that fun stuff. Not fun, but so in the course of 19 days, there at the Pentagon, we did everything from firefighting to structural support to collecting pieces of the plane, collecting body parts and personal effects of the victims, general security, general cleanup, security of classified information, um, hazardous material cleanup, pretty much anything else you can think of. And one thing about that is the first 3 days we were there, no one had Tyvek suits and that kind of thing. So we're just going in there and doing what we can to help out. And then of course like the fourth day, all of a sudden we have to wear these masks, and we got to wear Tyvek suits, and we have cleaning stations. We got to be scrubbed down every time we come out. And we're kind of like, hey, wait a second. What about those other 3 days that we were just going in there? And of course that was just kind of ignored a little bit. But the worst thing about 9/11 was this one point I was doing cleanup, and it was right in the main blast area in I think the second ring, and there was a bunch of those old wooden desks with the metal tops, especially in the military. Those old school. I mean, the desks have been around for who knows how many decades. They're probably there in World War II. But every military base has the old school desk that had the metal top and all the wooden bottom. So of course, in this case, the metal top was there and the wooden bottom was gone. Well, I lift up the top of this desk, and because it's sitting flat on the floor, all the wood's completely burned, and underneath it's not even scorched. Like, so all around this thing, it's just black. Everything's black from the fire. And then I lift the top of this desk up, this metal desktop, and underneath it, it looks like the same day the lady had been sitting there. There was a pair of dress shoes. The lady had obviously slipped off her shoes and set her purse down uh, next to her shoes under the desk. Um, and then right outside that area, right next to the desk, I found the remains of a hand and a forearm that had been mostly burned up in the fire. But then, so I gather a biohazard bag to put that in, and then I get a regular bag to put her, and also a hazard bag, but to put her effects in to make sure they stay together, to make sure they can get returned to the family. And I pick up the purse, and out falls this whole accordion of pictures. Whole like came from a big family. Obviously, there was everything from older grandparent type photos down to great grandkids probably, and everything in between. And it looked like happy, and it really that was the worst part of it, when it really became real, when you saw someone's life, someone's family right in front of you, and there you're holding what's left of her. All that's left of her is a part of her hand and forearm. So that was probably the worst part of it. Now on to some cognitive dissonance that happened, thanks to my being raised in the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses. They had the Red Cross set up a tent and trailer area. First time I saw the Red Cross there, I had a negative feeling. Well, I instantly realized that was because of my Jehovah's Witness upbringing. Because stuff like the Red Cross or the Salvation Army, it is mandate, you are not to give to those. Those are bad organizations. They're evil. They don't actually help. They just keep all the money for themselves, and it's a tool of the devil. That's what you're taught growing up as a Jehovah's Witness child. And so I see the Red Cross set up, and instantly I associate a negative with it. And it was slandered because of JW cult brainwashing. And I realized that and instantly had to combat it. So I ended up actually making an effort to look at the Red Cross a little bit, to go check. These people just wanted to help us. These people were there to help those of us that were having to deal with taking care of the crap, like picking up body parts, or like picking up half of a guy's head with his eyes open still in one of the where the rest have been blown to pieces. Who knows? Or like I said, the body parts with the then family photos and stuff. Like they just wanted to help us any way they could. They knew it sucked, and it just give us a cup of coffee, give us a hug, give us a pat on the back. They had, they even had clothes there. If we wanted an extra sweatshirt or something, or any food, like they did anything and everything. And the people there, they just loved us. They just loved us. And how opposite is that to any charity? Charity, I hate air quotes, but that the Jehovah's Witness organization does. They don't do charity. They steal. They don't help out. Any help they give is incidental to their own machinations, right? We know that. Those of us that grew up in it know that. And so, after seeing that was my first experience with the Red Cross, and then over the years, especially going into a wartime army, seeing the Red Cross in action overseas, especially some of the other places in the Middle East, um, they did nothing but help us and love us and ask for nothing in return. Never once did they ask us for anything. All they did was give to us. In Iraq, Afghanistan, Kuwait, all they had centers set up where they tried to make it feel like home. They had like fridges with like stuff you'd find at home, like drinks or sandwiches, or they had a video game system set up for us. They had call centers so we could call our family for free. It didn't cost us a dime to go to the Red Cross Center and call our families when we're in a combat zone. When every other phone you can find on base, you have to use phone card and pay like astronomical amounts of money just to be able to talk to your family. Go to the Red Cross Center, it's free. Never once did they ask us for a thing. So, uh, flipping the bird to the JW mind control and saying the Red Cross has done amazing things. Uh, and in general, all I found is that they want to help us and love us. And that's my story up to the 9/11 time frame. There's a whole lot more to tell after that. But that's where I'm at right now. Video's at almost 13 minutes. So I'm going to try to keep these a little bit shorter so y'all actually might want to watch them. And I appreciate you watching. And like I said before, I just want to help. Uh, Ask question, comments, concerned. Let me know. And I'll talk to you guys later.